The first giant misunderstanding that they have is that they don't have something worth selling or transitioning. They think that the business that they've built, that the assets that they've built and grown over time aren't really valuable. And so they don't process the strategy of, oh, wait a second, I've got something here that has a whole lot of value, a whole lot of goodwill and trust and brand recognition and relationship value. And that is definitely the case after 20, 30, 40 years of practice. So that's the first misconception. The second is, okay, now that I know that, what can I do with it? Well, the strategy and the process is sound. It's the same one that is used with mergers and acquisitions and recruiting and strategic revenue growth strategies all over the country for lots of different professionals. And a lot of those strategies are good strategies and some are not good. And what we do at Exit Path Partners is we have curated a really good optimal strategy to evaluate the assets and the infrastructure and the relationships and match that value to the optimal partner or successor, and then help the two meet and optimize that transition. The last most obvious misconception is the value of that practice. If someone checks the first two boxes and understands that they do have value and it can be transitioned, well, the emotion often leads to overvaluation at that point. Lawyers who are exiting and retiring often think that they're going to receive from a buyer a large check up front. In my experience, that doesn't typically happen unless there are those few cases where there is really great recurring revenue and subscription services and brand recognition and billboards and intellectual property and proprietary services inside that can be metabolized into repeatable, consistent, reliable, confident revenue by the buyer, even if the attorney exits. That is the unusual case, though. In most cases, it is a solo or small firm, and it is dependent on the relationships of one owner. And if that owner disappears after the transition, the clients will disappear too. And then there's always the question of whether the clients are going to stick around, even if the owner sticks around. Will the owner be willing to stick around for a period of time to make sure that trust is built and transition happens smoothly? Because of those uncertainties, a buyer typically will not write a very large check. A buyer will, in most cases, structure the acquisition or the transition as an earnout, if it's an acquisition, or as a payout over 3 to 5 years under some sort of counsel relationship, where payments are made out of the proceeds of the transitioned book. Those are the three most common misconceptions that I've experienced working with exiting lawyers.